Okay, y'all. So, Interview with the Vampire, Chapter 9, Season 2, Episode 2. This was an emotional episode for sure. And not just like, oh, this was emotional for me, to which it was. They really, the writing and the acting, hey, they did what they were supposed to do. But a lot of it was like this transition from the before times to now, before times being season 1. I thought this was great. And I mentioned this before and I'll say it again. I feel as if having that episode 1 be this like kind of sort of mini adventure, mini episode, not mini episode, mini I don't know, series, whatever, of Louis and Claudia backpacking through Europe was perfect. And I say that because, again, I'm looking at, though I'm watching the show real time, I'm looking at rewatchability, and season 1 was so good and done so well, and we had, you know, a different actress for Claudia, so I'm constantly thinking like, how will this read if I start from season 1 episode 1 all the way through to the end of season 2? And I think that first episode was a good bumper, I don't know, break off point from the glamorous, stylized, bougie aestheticness of season 1, and then not just with the change of the Claudia actress, but just like the changing of Claudia in general. Like, to see the progression of the shit that she went through and how she got her power back and her revenge, and then you change all this prettiness to like this grimy, dirty World War II just filth, and how those personalities, her and Louis, are still intact but have changed in so many ways, and a lot of it is like unsaid. We know that a lot of her stress and frustration with Louis comes from the hold that Lestat still has over him, or the hold that he is still holding on to 4 years later in a whole fucking continent away. I like that. Moving into episode 2, where Claudia actually gets to experience community and culture. Oh, so good. One thing that I am so not mad about, because I think the show is doing an excellent job, but I think we may get lost in these books being so old in the sense that a lot of people have read them from cover to cover. They know everything that's going on. So even though the show is going to give you a little change of this, that, and the third, you still probably for the most part know what's going on. But then there's folks like me who watched the movies back in the day, and even are familiar with the books, but have not read them in any real way, especially because we knew that the show was coming. And so I'm experiencing things like the Vampire and the one scene, this is what I was, long story short, the one part that I wish had have been kept out of all marketing and promotional material is Claudia saying, "Who's that there handsome man on the wall?" I feel like we never should have got that, because those of you who read the books probably knew what was going on, know the backstory with Armand and Louis and the theater and all that. Like, that's fine. But I think that for those of us who are not intimately familiar with the books, if Claudia never said that, if they never showed that piece, like if it had have been marketed or presented as Louis and Claudia in Paris getting away from New Orleans, and that's that, and like this new life that they have, and even show me them dramatic ass fighting and arguing scenes from the clips, from the trailers, that would have been great. But I think having that be the reveal in episode 2 would have been good, especially because immediately after that, that's when Daniel's like, oh shit, I did not see that coming. I guess I should have. And then he got into like the telenovela playing The Days of Our Lives or As the World Turns music. And I just think that would have been more impactful if we did not know, even if we saw clips of Lestat in the marketing stuff for season 2, because of course Sam was going to be there. I think because the first episode he was there as this mental projection of Louis, it could have been assumed that that would be his role, and that would have been the capacity that he would have existed in this episode. In this season. So I don't know. I still think they're doing a phenomenal job. I just think that one part would have stung a little bit better had we not have seen the photo of Lestat. But whatever, it's neither here nor there. I'm really happy that Claudia is getting the community that she wants. That whole theatrical production was good to see, because I think that we did not get in the trailers. We got like, there is a theater troupe of actors and creatives that are vampires, but we never got like the show. And that, woo, seeing Claudia doing like that the whole time, that shit was funny as hell. I was like, girl, if you don't get your calm down, little girl. And Louise discussed, and I'm going to get more into like the details when I do that podcast, because I watched the episode last night and I enjoyed it. I took notes. I want to sit with it, let my notes marinate, let my thoughts marinate, and then get into the recording of the podcast. But one thing that I can say is that in season 1, I liked Rashid. I thought he was, okay. I thought he was a little snippy or whatever. When it was revealed he was Armand, I was not for it. Not because I didn't know anything about Armand. That didn't matter. But my focus was like, where is Claudia? Louis, you are bullshitting. Yeah, oh, this the love of my life? Sure, girl, that's fine. But where the hell is your sister? And so when that reveal came, I think it was more so for people who read the books. For me, it was like, I don't like that. But in the marketing and in the things that I've kind of gleaned here and there about Armand in the space between season 1 and season 2, I was like, nah, this motherfucker seems sinister as hell. And that has been my thought, and I'm still kind of there. But this backstory, this episode was so good. That whole meeting at the park and like, I will not harm you, and I never did. First of all, I don't believe he never did. I think that he's harmed Louis and we just don't know yet. Something came out, but whatever. But that moment, and then a lot of the smaller moments of Armand throughout have really helped soften me to him, because I liked him, but once I realized what was going on, I was like, I don't know what this man is capable of, and it seems sinister, and a lot of that could be like Claudia being the entry point character and like the experience she had with Bruce, and then also Louis being this audience surrogate character and his interactions with Lestat, and then even Lestat discussing how other vampires are terrible. Like he may be an asshole, but you go out there to Europe and you bound to get your ass whooped. And so that was maybe shaping some of my thoughts about Armand. But yeah, still that I don't know. But the other moment that really like brought me around to him was him and Louis kind of flirting at the murder house. But present day, when Louis snapped back at Daniel, because he was being an asshole. And Armand, though he is on Louis' side and he's been antagonistic in these like shady ways to Daniel, he was like, okay, Louis, relax, because Daniel was having a physical and mental reaction to these memories that were being brought up about how his wife did not say yes to the proposal and this, that, and the third. And soon as Armand was like, well, she wanted to say yes, but she did not. Like, I don't know, something about the acting is great. I am not Team Armand, but I am closer to that than I was last episode and then I was last season. So I don't know, we're gonna see. So I got more thoughts I need to work through. Of another video might pop up, but I know that a podcast is coming. So let me know, what were your thoughts on episode 2 of season 2? Was it emotional for you? Was it just another day in the neighborhood? Let me know. And one final thing, the fact that Claudia used the name Bruce, just whatever. Oh, and then another thing. So Claudia Delaney being Claudia and being immersed in this world feels so real as she stepped into the role for me. And I like that the flashback of Claudia and Bruce, I don't recall if that particular scene was in the first season, but the way that her face was obstructed by that like tree branch during the flashback made a lot of sense to me. So I don't recall if that was Bailey Bass and that was a scene from season 1, or if that was Claudia, or maybe just some stand-in or whatever. Like, I can't recall if that was a thing. I don't know, whatever. So that's it. Rain Coleman, Carefree Black Nerd. Check me out on all social medias and all podcasts and all that good stuff, whatever. We're going to keep this vampire conversation going, and don't bite nobody. All I really want is to be happy. Find a vampire that's mine, and his name's Louis.